Really, it's a kasha and svara. We're going to start with a svara, question misvara. We have to give an answer. We spoke about it during the week, but I want to represent the question. The Gemara says the number 3 in the Mishnah comes to exclude Chalipin. The Avamina was Chalipin, Shet Koine, because I'm learning Isha from Sode. So Chalipin Shet Koine, Kamash Wana. It was Veimo Chinami. The question is, what is the question Veimo Chinami? So Rabbeinu Tam says, because Chalipin doimim lekesef dekor. It's kein kesef dekor, like the kesef the pasuk. The Ritva says is Aven Toldo. Some people say doimim lekesef. It is shve kesef. The Rabbeinu Tam Sefer Yosha calls it shve kesef. So Chalipin shove pruta shve kesef. So in the Gemara's kashi is ve'imo chenami, let Chalipin work mitzad shve kesef. The Gemara answers, since Chalipin exists less than shove pruta, so it's a kinyan acher. The question is good. So Chalipin is kinyan acher, but let it work mitzad shve kesef. Where do we see that if it has kesef in it works? The Rashba in Shuvah brings the Gemara in Daf Memchet and Kiddushin. The Gemara in Daf Memchet says that if somebody gives a shtar to a woman and it doesn't have Eideh Chasima, according to Rabbi Meir, Eideh Chasima Ekart is not a good shtar. Chachomim say, Roim, we check. If the shtar shov a pruto, mikodesh is not mikodesh. And the Rashba says even Rameh agrees it would work. Which means I gave a shtar, and it's written on it, Arem mikodesh li, b'shtar with this shtar, and the shtar doesn't work, there's no dechasina. But it works midin kesef shabot because there's value of pruto. Tam kesef shabot. So also here, true, the Torah is memayed, the Mishnah is memayed, 3 memayed Chalipin. Chalipin won't work. But when the Shabbat Pruta, let it work, mitzat Shabbat Pruta Shabbat. Who is this kasha? Or the Rishonim. Even Rashi. Rashi says, V'afilu bekli sheyesh bo Shabbat Pruta. Should work. It will work. Why not? Chalipin is out, but the Shabbat Pruta, let it work, mitzat Shabbat Pruta Shabbat. Yes, mitzat Chalipin. You can learn Rashi, no, he's only asking mitzad the Chalipin shaboy. Chalipin le Shabbat Pruta, it's a gnai. Chalipin Shabbat Pruta is not a gnai, but it's Chalipin. We're seeing different. We're seeing that let Chalipin Shabbat Pruta don't work mitzad Chalipin, but let it work mitzad kesef shaboy, shve kesef. Like we see by a star. When a star doesn't work within star, Chachomim say it works within kesef. And even Rameir agrees to Chachomim. As the Rashba was medayik, right? Shuta Rashba. You learned the Shuta Rashba, right, Rabbi?
Yeah.
You guys prepared?
So, it should work as Chalipin.
As Chalipin, I know. You can say it works even, he's asking even that, and he's including everything out. Since you said Loshan Chalipin, everything is out. There's Gnai, and all the Loshan is Gnai. Good. So on Rashi, we don't really have a kasha, but on Rabbeinu Tam, that says that Chalipin is mitam kesef, and the answer is not mitam kesef, because it exists l'shavah pruta, good. But let it work mitzat kesef shabai. And really the Tosas Reed says so, I think. The Tosas Reed, I don't need intervene of the rabbis. Let me the halachas, so. Yes, she's mekudeshes. The Gemara Dam Amches says mekudeshes. Mekudeshes midoraisa. One second. I want to see inside the Tosas Reed. I'm reading in Daf Yud and Slabot Kashitz, or some of them have Daf Tes. Depends on the print. You have the Tosas Reed?
Yeah.
Kasha lituva. This is a famous kasha of Tosfos Rif. Yeah, tet in the old Slabotka sheets, and the new print of Slabotka is Daf Yud, page Yud. Do you have a paper? Then get yourself a paper. Here, there's one I'll get you.
They're right there.
Next.
Yes.
Yes.
Kasha lituva. It's very hard. It's a very strong kasha to himself. The Tosfos says. V'imnos anodom sudor leisha. If a man gives a handkerchief to a woman, sheyesh bo shabaputo, that has a shabaputo in it, afal pi shenos lo b'toras Chalipin, even though he gave it from the law of Chalipin, amayne mekudeshes, watch your name mekudeshes. V'arei yesh kan shabaputo. Behold, I have here shabaputo.
How about if the vessel is not worth the Shabbat, but it has a usage, that has a value intrinsic in the thing, that it has a usage? It may not be.
That's less a shabaputa, but it's a kli. If he's not, he wasn't. Yeah, but the Tosfos was not wondering with that, because now you can argue. But we did wonder him that when you have a shabaputa, and even though he gave it the teres Chalipin, amay ain't mekudeshes. Why doesn't he have mekudeshes? V'arei yesh kan shabaputa. Behold, I have a shabaputa. They came in the Nakito, Bei Gimel Agimel Shin, she hold 3 by 3. The Rashois Leoshko, she is permitted to rob it and leave it by her. Amai Eino Mekudeshes, why she's not Mekudeshes? V'ava Pishi Machziro Soloi, Midaito, Imachziro Soloi. Even if she gave it back, that's her own free choice, but she got money. V'imi Rotza, if she wants, Ushalo, belongs to her. The same way the Gam Kitcha B'moneh, I'm continuing to read, I will hear you soon, Reb Chaim. The Gam, in Kitcha B'moneh, somebody mekadesh a woman with a money, 100 zuz. V'achakach imachziro soiloi mirtzoino. Afterwards, after she received the money, she gave back the money back from her own free will. Klum yeshloimar, as a pastor, she's not mekudeshes.
This is Mekudesh.
Mekudeshes. So he made it, the kashi is, it's hard on Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam now, Tosfos that says, that what? That is kinyanache, okay. Chalipin is kinyanache, great. But why when I have shabaputa, and how do I know it's kinyanache? Unless the shabaputa proves it's kinyanache, good. But when I have shabaputa, dal meocha Chalipin, let it work mitzad kesef. And you ask me who says it works? The Rashba brought a raya. Or is the raya of the Rashba? Look at the Tshuvas HaRashba, which we ask everyone to learn. It's in page Daled Ohei, depends on the prints. In the last paragraph, the Kohen Shel Dvoi, he brings down V'teida lecho. Oh, V'chen adin, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 lines before the end of the Tshuvas HaRashba. Mamash before the end, the last paragraph. V'chen adin b'mekadesh b'shtar shesh lo shabaputa. This is the law. When somebody's mekad, I'm reading in the Tshuvas HaRashba, and Daf Hey, and Slabot Kashita, some of them, Daf Dalet. So you have, in the end of Shuta Rashba, in the end, 10 lines before the end of the Tshuvas HaRashba. Shuvas HaRashba, Shut HaRashba. So maybe it's Daf Vav or Daf Dalet. You have Shut HaRashba, Chelek Dalet Siman Reish Beis. This is very famous. Which page is by you, Rabbi? Gimel. Okay. Gimel goes on to Dalet? Or it's all in Gimel? What? Shut HaRashba, yes. V'chen adin kadosh v'shtar, yes. Rebel, where's Shut HaRashba in your papers? Dalet, and Daf Dalet.
8 lines in the bottom.
No, 10 lines in the bottom from the end. If you go to the end of Shut HaRashba, 10 lines up. V'chen adin b'mekadosh b'shtar. Same law is, if somebody's mekadosh b'shtar, sheyesh bo shabaputo. If somebody's mekadosh with a shtar that has a value of puto, ukelemucha chayi the shomin saniya, like it's been proven from the law that when I estimate the paper, אם יש לו שווה פרוטה מקודשת, if it has a value of pruta she's mikudeshes.
What's the harmony should not?
What?
What's the harmony should not be Kadeshes in that case?
Because he wanted to marry with a star.
Because he wants to marry with a star. בפרק האיש מקדש להנכס. ומסתבר דלא יפול יגמר עלו. המר that says that it's not מקודשת because no either chasima, and Chachom say, check if the star is a shoma pruta. He wants to say Ramer doesn't argue on Chachomim. Okay? So she's mikudeshes mitzad the shoma pruta shaboy. So let's go back to the question we have. That's our starting point in the sugi. According to Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam in our Toisves that says that the Avamina why Chalipin should work because it's midin kesef, ken kesef the grow. And the maskone is that Chalipin is not kesef because you see works even lesser shabuta must be skinyan acher. Great. Chalipin is kinyan acher. But since when I give Chalipin shabuta has shabuta in it, so let it work mitzat shve kesef. And when I give a star which doesn't work midin star, works midin kesef and has kesef. So let it work here also midin kesef. That's the kasha. So my answer is very simple. Not simple, not so simple, but I want to give us an answer as well. We have to learn inside the Tshuva Sarashba. I want to learn inside. Now you can ask. Yes, Reb Chaim, you go ahead.
The rabbis made a substitution on their own dots. It's not that the thing works because it works that way. It's just they decided to transfer what system is going to be applied because it has a value to Shekuta from what it was to something else in part of the three things in order to make it work. It didn't work by itself.
I don't know.
So you tell me how did it work?
Can work misvora, and the rabbi said that svora is a good svora. Can work misvora. I mean, I'm telling you another option. Can work misvora. And the rabbis agreed to that svora.
So what's this for?
The svora is that when I want to marry a woman, I want to marry the woman. And if something went wrong with one way, and there's another way to do it, including my actions, I want the other way because I want the result. I love this woman. I want her. I want this field. It works. And the rabbis agree that my kavanah works. The general kavanah works. Not necessarily the rabbis made this. I don't know. You're making up an option. It's an option. I'm not saying wrong. And there's other options. A lot of options. I don't know. That's not my suga right now. Good. I heard your point, and I'm saying other options, and I'm open. Now, let's see now Shuta Rashbo. Okay? Shuta Rashbo, inside. To understand Shuta Rashbo, we have to see the Gemara in Nedorim, page 48b. Okay? B'siyata Dishmai. The Gemara in 48b. What? I just now did Shuta Rashbo, which is the end. I want to go through the whole Shuta Rashbo, from bottom to top, go through what it really is his problems, and see how really this question doesn't exist. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What happens to the concept of low proof? How can you have a star that sometimes works, sometimes it works because it's worth the Sharaput, and sometimes it doesn't when it's not worth the Sharaput? The same thing with the Sudan. Sometimes it'll work, and sometimes in Havamina it won't work because it's not less. But how can you have the same thing, the same scarf, the same piece of paper? It's a little bit better. It's a little bit. How could you have something? What the concept of low proof?
Rabbi, you're Ponak. You're Talmid Chacham. You know there's chilukim. Each one is not a little bit better. A little bit better becomes kesef because it's pruta. That little better made from non-pruta pruta. Since pruta it's kesef. So it has two things in it. There's two elements in it. There's chalipin and there's kesef. So let down more chalipin. Let it work. Mitzat kesef. So the answer is we have to see the Rashbo inside. And there's two Rashbos we have to see. One is the Shuta Rashbo, and the other one is the Rashbo in Kiddushin. Now we'll complete the picture. We're able to answer this question. And Mimela will come to a whole understanding what really says in Toises. And B'ezrat Hashem want to expand in the Toises in Gitin Aflametet.
So you've got Kinyan Kesef, Kinyan Aker, And how about if the value of the vessel is less than a,
No, that's not our subject. If it's less than Shabbat Putus, it's not Kinyan Nachir, it's only Chalipin. And there's no kesef here.
but it could be, the usage of the thing, is it also included in Kinyan Akir?
There is an opinion that it's kesef too, that the Torah is machshiv is kesef. But I'm talking about even if I say it's not kesef,
Even if it's not Kesef.
still if I have Shabbat Puter, you have Shvei Kesef. Nobody argues not Shvei Kesef here. It's different. You're talking about Chalipin lesser Shabbat Puter that is a Kli.
Right.
It's a question of Medin Kesef or not. Some people say it's still Kesef. We're going to see some Shutas Arashba because the Torah is machshiv it. Because it's worth for his melocha. It's roy lemalachdoi.
That's right.
But we say even if Chalipin is not Kesef,
Right.
and therefore even Shabbat Puter is not Kesef, mitzad Chalipin, but it has Shabbat Kesef in it. Since I have two kinyon in here, one doesn't work, like the other work. The other one work. It's like kinyon amoil ve'amoil. I want that result. So this not moil and the other with the moil work.
That's right. Okay.
It's a different question. And that question only relates to Rabbeinu Tam that says kinyon acher in our toys.
That's three different kinds.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I want.
Yes, Rabbi Chaim. Yes, go ahead.
You're ignoring his dibur, because every one of those systems that the Mishnah says has two parts. It has the Maisa and the dibur of what he's doing.
Yes.
So you're ignoring the dibur.
So-
If you do that.
So when I give a woman a shtar, 1 second. When I give a woman a shtar, I ignore my dibur. I say Rabbi Kodesh b'shtar zeh, and the shtar doesn't work because there's no chasima. It's not a shtar, and since the Shabbat Puter works. Ignoring the Maisa and the dibur too. What?
The system of Kesef. But it's the system of Kesef, not the system of star.
Not about I know. And yet the Gemara on page 48 says in Masechet Kiddushin that it works.
Okay, good, it works, but we're trying to figure out why it works.
It works mitzad kesef. Chachom misoimrim im Shabbat Puter mekudeshes.
Okay, but we don't know why.
The Rashba says kesef. Works within kesef.
Good, so that makes it the system of Kesef, of the
The system of kesef. So we're asking, why does Rabbeinu Tam and our Toises why he knocks out Chalipin Shabbat Puter? According to Rashi, he said the language of Chalipin, said it's Gnai. But he said because it's not kesef, good. So it's not kesef, but it has Shabbat Puter there. So learn, it's not kesef. Kinamoy, venamoy. Right? Simple question. Who asked this question? Toises read on a Gemara, but we're asking on Rabbeinu Tam on Toises. That's all. That's why we just shifted it in.
Yeah.
Rav Shul can ask this question. The question, what's the answer? So let's see what the Rashba says, and my understanding is the answer. Let's see. So I'm reading Shuta Rashba. Shuta Rashba, Chelek Dalet Siman Reish Beis. Siyata Dishmai. The Gemara in Masechet Nedorim, page 48b, the Gemara says a story. Was this guy that he was dying, Shchimera, and he wanted to give over his asset to his favorite son. He had two children, because one son stopped learning, go to Rashi. Stopped learning, went to business. One pshara, she says, he stole, he was a robber. Another pshara, he went to business, he left Torah. Stopped oisik but Torah and he went to work. I want to give him my money. He works, let him work himself. I want to give my inheritance to the child that learns Torah. Okay, but I told him, 1 second. But that child that went to work, maybe we'll have a child, a grandson of yours. There'll be a Talmid Chacham, Tzum Rabbanon. So he said, you know what? Here's Kinyan Sudo. I'm giving over to my son. The other half, I'm giving with this Sudo, I'm marking the other half to my grandson. Through my live son, my good son, he's going to coin it the second half for the sake of the grandson, if the grandson will be Talmid Chacham.
Of his other son.
Of his other son, yes.
Wait, not so clear.
No, deny.
He gave as Kinyan Sudo.
Yeah, that I got.
Two, he says, I want a makne, 2 sons. Yeah, there was one son, the Talmid Chacham, the other son went to work. He says, out of my picture,
Business guy.
the business guy. But they told him, what are you doing? Maybe the business guy will have a child, Talmid Chacham. He says, you're right, okay, I'm retracting. I'm doing now Kinyan Suda, another half of the child that went to work, and I'm giving it to the son, to my Talmid Chacham's son. We do a Kinyan Suda to makne to his brother's son if we become a Talmid Chacham. So Pupudai said, It's Kniyam Nasnaknois. It doesn't work. Rav Nachman says Sudo, that's Sudo. Sudo works. Sudo is Kniyam Nasnaknois. Rav Ashi says, what do you mean? First of all, it's not Kniyam Nasnaknois. You coin a total. Who says you're not allowed by Sudo? Who says you're not allowed to hold on to the Sudo? Man Leiman Lintovis Mikpas. Maybe he's allowed to hold on to it. And besides, Sudo is right now. He is in the future. It's called Sakinyonoi. If I want to do a Mashiach in the future, if it's not bad, it was called Sakinyonoi. Here I want to do the Sudo not now. In the future, the son will be a Talmid Chochem in the future. He wasn't even born, maybe. Or born, not Talmid Chochem yet. So it's future, what? I want maybe the grandson was alive, but he wasn't yet a Talmid Chochem. So good. So it doesn't work. It's called Sakinyonoi. So they asked the Rashba strong kasha. This master that wrote the Rashba letter, he asked, wait a second. But it comes out, according to Rav Nachman, it's like Sudo. But what about Kol Sakinyonoi? What about the Oro of Rav Ashi? It's called Sakinyonoi. Sudo should be now. He is in the future. Must be Rav Nachman held that it works, the Sudo, even in the future. What about Kol Sakinyonoi? This was the problem of the Rashba. So the Rashba gives two answers. Let's see inside. Umar de Kosavma, what the master wrote. The Korah of Adobo Lifso Rav Nachman, the Loyaich Pasol in Oba Sudo Lemore. Rav Nachman holds, like Rav Nachman, and doesn't care that the Sudo is being brought back to the master. Loimar that says that Rav Nachman Odomakne became Sudo La'achar Zman. So this master says, what do we see from Rav Nachman? It says Rav Nachman didn't care about the Sudo that is working for the grandchild, which the grandchild is not Talmid Chochem yet. And by the time the grandchild Talmid Chochem, the Sudo already went back to his master. And then it's Kosa Kinyonoi. This is what the master says. The halach is like Rav Nachman, that Sudo works even in the future. There's no problem Kosa Kinyonoi somehow. Comes, the Rashba says, Mesupok Bazani Kamash Yomim. Couple of days I'm already doubt in this truth or not. I saw the French rabbis, Rabbeinu Tam de Toichom, שכוסו בהסכמה מוחלטת בכמה מקומות בתויסויסם דלא יקונו. בעל התויסוס holds, Rabbeinu Tam in his whole school, they held that a person can unmakne besudor in the future. כל סכין יומר. והאמס כי יש מקצת מקורת בטעם ובשיתוס ומראה של כל מקצת שקוינה. מקצוץ בבתו ישראל שלא קוינה. חי של רבשי. Some places in Shas I see that it is coin and some say it is not coin, like Rabbeinu Tam, because they worry for Rabashi. Rabashi says, how can you coin in the future? By Sudos right now, he is in the future. It's called Sekiyama. So you see in Rabashi's La'alocha. So they don't see as Rav Nachman as an opinion, see Rabashi. Rabashi is a later rabbi. And he made it. La'alocha should work. What do you want to say, Reb Chaim?
What about it tonight? It's not only the future, it's also the future with it tonight.
Right, but they're not dealing with it. You say, you're right, we have to deal with him, but it's not what he's dealing with. Another proof, he says, the Gemara says, if somebody says, I will buy this land that I'm going to buy in the future, I'm acquiring it right now. He didn't buy it yet. He says, in a couple of days I'm going to buy the field, I'm already marking it to you. That he's marking now. How can he do Kinyan Sudar now when it's not my field yet? And when it's my field, the Sudar is already gone, so it's called Kinyan. So it must be that it works. So that's a raya against Rabbeinu Tam. Because Shunur and Achshon, it works. Umagias for Imavim or Kulmus. He said, no. It's not Achshon. It's only in the future, in the Sudar has to be there. Ukadas Rabazina Tzarfati. If it's not there, it won't work. And Limchosh, don't protest against him. This master wanted to say that the Gemara is talking about even Kinyan Sudo. Or because most of the Kinyonim is Shtar, and is on a future, when I buy the field, why you have to erase it? Because it cannot be me'achshon, maybe later on the Shtar will be ripped, before I buy it. וכבר תירצתי אני עוד דרב נחמן הדורים. Comes the Rashba and says, I had an answer that there's no kasha on Rav Nachman. How can Rav Nachman work Sudo by the grandson, it's called Sakayona. The Sudo already went back by the time the grandson's done with Chochem. How can it work in the future? He says, I already gave an answer. What's in my answer? וכבר תירצתי אני עוד רב נחמן לדורין how. דלא תיקשם ידי. He says, there's a steer between two Rav Nachmans. דאיסלי במשוך פורזו, ולא תיקן לכל אחר 30 יום כסובס פייבוב. It says, pull this cow and don't acquire it only after 30 days. דלא יקונה, the law is, it's not acquired. אלא אם כן עומדת באגה, unless it's standing in Aga. Me, however, so we see that there is a problem of Kosa Kinyona. Again, pull this cow, and the king will be 30 days from now. If it's not only the Agam, the king is finished. In 30 days, there's no Mashiach. V'rocha ben adorim, and here ben adorim Rav Nachman holds mashma. The Isla, the Suda works for the future. The Suda kolach hazman for the grandson. Avagado da Suda lemor legami, when the Suda went back to the master totally. Why don't medam le'i delei konig lebabo? The Gemara is medam Suda to the story of the king for the grandson. Kamitzuman becomes a Talmid Chacham.
How come if it's an argument, it's okay?
It's a different question. Because the king as if continues and never left by me. Okay, it's not our sugya, but somehow there the king is not finished. Comes the Rash when he says V'amarti be'ulai. You know the word be'ulai? What is ulai?
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
Rashi says in Masechet in Chumash Bereshis that when the Malachim says ulai, not ulai tove Sarah, maybe Sarah, maybe, there's 3 dots on the letters Aleph, Vov, Yud, Ayoy. So not only ulai that they asked Sarah, they asked also Avram. Each one they asked Sarah about her husband and Avram also about her Sarah. Ayoy. So ulai is Ayoy. Where? I'm just joking. V'amarti b'ulai.
So what does it mean?
See, maybe. He says, I said a maybe, which means he held is not a good answer, but it's a maybe. Again, we have a steer between 2 statements of Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman, page 86 says, Rav Nachman in page 86 says in Ksubis that if I say pull this cow and let it be yours after 30 days from now, it's called Sakin Yomoi. The king is finished. The same Rav Nachman holds that the grandfather made a key in Suda to makne the other half to the grandson who come at Talmid Chacham. How can the Suda works in future years from now? Suda's gone, ripped, went back to the master. It's called Sakin Yomoi. So why by Meshiche Rav Nachman? 1 second. Why by Meshiche Rav Nachman himself holds that it's called Sakin Yomoi? Chalipin should be the same. Chalipin is an act. You exchange. The Maisa of the Chalipin is finished, and when the grandson comes to the world, Talmid Chacham. V'amarti bi'ulai says, I said it may be an answer. So now the Rajwa brings 2 options, 2 answers. Okay, one answer he doesn't like so much, he calls it bi'ulai. The second answer, he says, Misror, he thinks that's a Srora. This is what he says. The first answer, Ki Rav Nachman sovu de zekono me'achshov. Rav Nachman understood that the grandson acquired right now some of the field, some kinyan right now. Also, kniyam muetas, a little bit of acquisition. With condition that we come at Talmid Chacham. Ki eichi delikninu babo in order to acquire his grandson. Ki amatzu rabbo when he becomes Talmid Chacham. V'kniyoso nimsheches min hashto. The acquisition starts being pulled from right this moment. Until the moment he was makneh to his grandson, to the son of the son. Which means his makneh to the son starts makneh to the son for the sake of the grandson until the grandson totally acquires it. The Rav Ashi cholakalo b'shtei svorois. Rav Ashi argues in 2 svorois. Doesn't start now, and in the future won't work. Stop. What is he saying? He's saying a chitimtza. That the case of Rav Nachman was the story of the grandson. He said, Me'achshav al chushim yoy. He said the word Me'achshav ve'la'achar. The Gemara in Masechet Kiddushin says, if somebody says Me'achshav ve'la'achar shloshim yoy, it's machloikes. Some say Tflis Rishon, Lo Shanachon, but Rabbi Yochanan holds says both true. It starts from now and it finishes later on. See, once I say Rav Nachman is like Rabbi Yochanan, that it starts right now and it finishes later on. Because he said, Me'achshor, right now, to when he becomes a Talmid Chacham. If he becomes a Talmid Chacham, the Kinyan starts right now and it finishes later on. Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
Even though the Girsa is not Me'achshor there.
Even though there's no Girsa Me'achshor. That's what it's called Be'ulai. It's a Chitimtzim, because you have a Kasha. Rav Nachman owns Konsekiyono by Meshicha. Why here by Ksud there's no Konsekiyono? So he is different, because he said, Me'achshor lachashor shiyoy. He said, Me'achshor until we become Talmid Chacham, if we become Talmid Chacham. And the condition when we come Talmid Chacham, I want it from now till then, it mainly works. There's no problem, Konsekiyono.
Is there any possibility of saying, like the case of Bab Metzia,
The what?
where the guy, when they do the shomer takes the cow,
Yes.
makne the kefir,
Lechshetirtze Chalmeini, Are Paron Yosogam. That's the svor of Chazal. Or they say the svor in his head why he's willing to. Yeah, you're talking about Mitzad Etnai. Yeah. That's very, very good. Very similar. Very similar, yes.
So what is the Hiluk here?
He's asking it's a Tnai. That was Rabbi Feisher also asked the same question. It's a Tnai. True. Said even though it's a Tnai, but the Tnai is, if it's true, there will be a Talmid Chacham from, the king will start from right now. What do we see? That's the Reish HaMafkin. Says the guy is willing to pay the kefil, and then they find the gun and he gets the kefil. Why? Same idea. Those are not the Gemara. The Mafreg, exactly.
So the Rashba makes a Hiluk here.
Right. He says it's meyuchot. It's special. It's a special case. It's a chitimtzah, and he said ma'achsho, and when we become a Talmid Chacham. And the Kinyan starts from now, and is nimshach min ashto, ad sheikne b'livnoi.
Even though he doesn't say Hashka, we understand.
No, he says the chitimtzah, that's what, even though the Gemara didn't say it, but since the Kinyan worked, he did it in a proper way. How the Kinyan would work? In a proper way. What is a proper way? Ma'achsho, v'le Talmid Chacham.
So what really is the Hiluk?
No, he just bypassed. According to this, he just bypassed. He says a chitimtzah. Really, the problem is true. He accepts the question. That's kosa kinyona, and here we have a chitimtzah. He bypassed it. That's one answer. 1 second. He gives a much better answer, which relates to us, and that's the whole reason we brought this Rashi.
Remind me where you're reading, starting from.
Ve'im kedvorai. And if the words of what I said it's true, afilu b'shetimtzah lifsek Rav Nachman, k'uda nekipe u'kedas harav shevosas kein. Even the halach is like Rav Nachman, afal pikein, even though so en lanu raya gemura mishom. So I had a clear raya because you can say that it's a chitimtzah. B'kinyan su dalil ha'chazman. Ela im ken omar lo me'achshav ha'chazman. That's the only vaday raya. Since it's an option, maybe special day says me'achshav ha'chazman, so unless it's me'achshav, you have no raya that would work even in the future. That Chalipin is different. Gam nirali. That's the second answer. Taram comes the Rashbo and he says, I give you another answer. Gam nirali sha'asvoro tluyo bedin echod. Also looks to me that the svara depends on one law. Vehu. Gam nirali sha'asvoro tluyo bedin echod. Also seems to be that the svara depends on one law. V'hu, im Chalipin koine b'din kesef oloi, Chalipin acquires from the law of kesef, shetim tzolei ma'aseh shlom b'din kesef, we want to say Chalipin is from the law of kesef, exists from the law of kesef, ela shechidesh ben hakos u'teres mechadeh, is for you Rabbi Yoshua, v'yeshnam b'pachot misha b'pruta, Chalipin can exist even less than b'pruto, Efshar lo yomar the coin, you still consider the acquires within kesef. Afilu achazman, even after some time, kedin kesef. The afal gav the nisaklo amos, even though the money is being eaten. The afal bishon roto, even there's no shavet pruto. Sha'akosu the Torah ichshiva kesef. The Torah value like kesef. Why? Like you said, Rabbi Yoshua, because if it's melach has usage. Again. So Rav Nachman that says what? That Chalipin is different than Meshicha, yes. Because your Chalipin is within Kesef. Doesn't matter if it has Shabbat Pruta, or even it doesn't have Shabbat Pruta, but it has Machshav at the Kesef. So since there's a Din Kesef, we know by the Din Kesef there's no Kol Sakin Yonai. If I give somebody money, not a star, and not Chalipin. I give somebody money and I say, or I want to buy this land after 30 days from now. Even though the money is eaten up, I still can buy the land. Why? Because you still, what buys the land is not the action of giving the money. It's the result that you have more money by you, and you owe me it back unless you give me the land. So the choy v'choyzer, that's what the Shimon Kops called it. The debt which comes back after the giving, that one makes the kingdom.
How does the hope come back?
When I give you money and I acquire with money, it's not the action of the movement between my hand to your hand, the money. That's the Maisakin. That's the Meshicha, Gbo, Chalipin. It's different.
That's metal.
Chalipin is a different, we'll put it aside in a second.
That's metal.
Yes, no, Meshicha is only by metaltali. Meshicha, Gbo, Mesira, that only works by metaltali. But and if it's later on, it's called Kiyomai. If I say it's later on, it's called Kiyomai. But if it's later on, it's called Kiyomai. But Kesef is different. Kesef, it's not the act that makes the acquisition.
It's the money.
It's the money. Money means value. The Ribui Adomim, you had more money by you. So now, if you're not going to accept the deal, you're going to have to give me it back. So what you received is not the action of giving. It's that now you have more money. In your domain, you have my money. So now that you have my money by you, that what makes the acquisition.
And that's the short put.
1 second. So if we say Chalipin is 1 second, and therefore, even if the money is eaten up, even the money was eaten up later on, we don't care. Doesn't make a difference. Because the debt of the money still exists. And even if you give me it back, doesn't make a difference. It's still there.
Even if you get, if what?
Even if you ate the money, or the person gave back the money, from his own free will, it's a gift. Maybe he got the money, the kingdom would work even later on, even though the money's eaten up or the money was being given back. So 1 second, I just want to close it and yes, what you want. So Rav Nachman holds Chalipin mitam kesef. So therefore he says, I don't care that the grandson is not done the Kochim yet. And I'm doing the kingdom's Chalipin now. Because this Chalipin is kesef. And kesef we don't care. It's not like Meshicha. We don't care. There's no problem. Because the kiyolo, even it's not Amois. And even it's not Shabbat Puto, it's Chalipin. But the pair is Machshiv at the kesef. Once it's kesef, Mimele, the Chashivus of the Melachtoi, or the value of the money, if it's Shabbat Puto, that what makes the kingdom. So then later on, even though it's Nisach Amois, it works. You wouldn't want to say that word about.
Why isn't that a milva?
It's not a milva. It's an act right now.
It's a whole.
Right. It's a chuppah right now. Because the money is not money. The money is the domim, is the value of it. So you have my money. What does it mean you have my money? It's a concept. You have ribui domim before you had no money. Now you have my money by me. Mine is by you. What you did with it, it's already you and your domain. You got into your domain. So the transferring moment that I gave you the money, the result that you have ribui domim, that one makes the kinyan. It's not our it's the same moment. It's called kesef achoiza. That's a Shimon Shkop, famous Shkop by the story. And remember, we learned in Bobby Kama that if somebody steals on Shabbos, right? So they say, when is a kinyan alamine? The chiyuv of death of Shabbos and stealing, when is the moment? Comes in the same moment or not? So they say by kesef, kesef is the kesef achoiza, is when I steal your money, so I have to give it back. It's not the act of stealing. That's what they talk about. But anyhow, I'm just saying in the Surah of Kiddushin, that's what they talk about, Kesef HaChoizer. But the bottom line is that the Rashba wants to say, that's his big answer. He says, Gam nirali. Before he said, Ulai. Gam nirali, sha'asvor atuya b'din echod. The Svar of Rav Nachman, why Chalipin works, not like Meshicha, and no problem goes because Rav Nachman holds Chalipin tam kesef. So with tam kesef, I don't care. Even less than food, there's Machshiv with the kesef. I don't care. Okay, but however, he says, Avalim eino midin kesef. But if they're not from the law of kesef, if Shalom is not possible, the other Suda mother won't work. The Suda went back by the time the grandson is there. Umay Shlom Meshicha. If it's not kesef, it's Chalipin, it's just the act. What's the difference between Chalipin and Mashiach? It should be the same. The conclusion is of the Rashba is surely the Ravashi mashma de'eino midin kesef. Ravashi definitely holds that I can hold back. The pseudo means there's no konsekiyonon. And if I'm not holding it back, ve'oin, Chalipin has to be right away. If it's later on, it's konsekiyonon. So Ravashi definitely doesn't hold Chalipin zutam kesef.
Where's the chov?
What?
In Chalipin, where's the chov?
If there's no chov, Chalipin mitam kesef is a chov. If the Chalipin is the kesef shaboy, midin kesef.
What do you mean of the sudar?
Of the pseudo, yes.
That's what he means?
Yes, sure.
Chalipin is just the
Simply-
symbol of an exchange. To make
So if it's Chalipin mitam Chalipin, so then there's like Mashiach. But if Chalipin mitam kesef, it's the value of it that the shobe kesef makes the choiv, the domim, ribuy adomim. So Mimele, that what makes the kids, so even kids, no problem, and even less at shobe pruto, the Torah is machshiv et kesef, because it's kli oil melachtoi. Mimele, that kesef makes the kinyan even isachlu amoes, even later on. That value of the melachtoi, that the ribuy vekesef that is by you, is mechayev. But Ravashi holds no. Ravashi holds us to be right now, or you can hold on to it. There's no konsekiyono. Itovis mitpas. Ve'oin. It's later on. Chalipin has to be right now because Chalipin is like Mashiach. It's like a Maisakin is not Kesef. It doesn't work. So we have here Hashbo against the Rabbeinu Tam and Sefer HaYosho. The Sefer Rabbeinu Tam and Sefer HaYosho, in the end he says, no. He wants to say, no, you know why Chalipin is mitam Kesef? Because it's 3 on 3s in my hands, command the posik. And Ravashi holds, I can hold on to it. And here the Rav says opposite. Ravashi holds Chalipin lo mitam Kesef. Why I have to hold on to it? Because it's called Kinyono. And if I cannot hold on to it, it has to be right now because it's called Kinyono. So Ravashi holds according to the Rashba, Chalipin mitam Chalipin, and not mitam Kesef. And Rabbeinu Tam brings Ravashi just the opposite. Since you have an option to hold on to it, Mimele it's Kesef. Mimele then what I gave you has some value. It's two opposite opinions here. And the Rashba understood the reason why he's allowed to hold on to it, according to the first point of Ravashi, to hold on to it because otherwise it becomes a Kinyono. It's really, really Chalipin, not Kesef. So we have a major machloek is how to find Ravashi.
Yeah, but you know, if you tell the possibility to hold on to it is only, it's not Iker a din.
Again, repeat.
The possibility to hold on to it is not Iker a din of Kesef. It's only a Tanai, or not a Tanai. It's a possibility, but it's not Iker a din. Iker a din has to convey what the thing is.
Ravashi has a doubt. There's two stodim, and the tzad there's a lot to hold on to it. So according to the Rashba, holding on to it is in order to make not kol sekiyonoi. And according to the Rabbeinu Tam and Sefer HaYosho, the reason why the Ravashi wants to have the option to hold on to it to make it kesef, and that you can enjoy it. You got something. Okay.
Why we don't say that
The
this,
possibility to enjoy it and to enjoy it is two different things.
I understand your point. Although the Gemara says a possibility, man leimalim, but if I'm allowed, then this is the fact that I'm allowed to hold on to it means it's mine. It's in my rights to exercise my rights. So it's part of my rights, means it's mine. What do you want to say, Rabbi Gabriel?
why we don't say that this like Kesef,
Yes.
but it's Matoram Neodagzi?
But Tom Nasi, who says it's kesef?
Say that it's Kesef, but it's Matoram Neodagzi.
And what's the law about Matom Nasi? Matom Nasi works within kesef.
Yeah? Every place, we said.
Yeah, but Matom Nasi works when the king is right now. Doesn't work for later on.
We said that the Kenyan was right now in Chalipin.
Ah, you're right. Matomas Lachzin Bekesef can work even later on because it's my decision to give back. But if he made, it's only like a side condition. If I don't give back, first of all, they asked in this sugya, how come Matomas Lachzin works? If I don't give it back, it means he never gave it to me. And only when it's mine, when I give it back. So where's the kesef I got? So they explained. The Ketzois already trying to give a trick there how it works. But it works. It means they got. Once I got kesef, you have to explain it out. And the sugya is on Hashem. So I got kesef. Once I got kesef, so I got. So they're finished.
So they say in Chalipin.
Chalipin,
To understand Rav Nachman.
yes. So we want to say Rav Nachman owns Chalipin.
What are these cases?
Right. So he says, although, yes, so we're right. That's Rav Nachman.
That's what he's saying.
Yes, this is good for what he said, go to Rav Nachman. A Chalipin can be kesef, he's giving it back from his own free will. Or even if he needs to give it back, but it's like Maton's Lachzik, like you said. Now it works. What? And the sugi enough of they try to explain how it works. They have tricks how it works.
That is what the Rashba means.
Yes, obviously. But what the big chiddush that we have here is that the Shuta Rashba made the machloikas Rav Nachman and Rav Ashi in the Havel Maskone by us. We are Rav Amin Chlipin Mitam Kesef, the Enze Chlipin Skinyan Acher. Rashba says Rav Nachman owns Chlipin Mitam Kesef, it works even in Kosa Kinyonoy. And Rav Ashi owns Chlipin La Mitam Kesef, there's a problem with Kosa Kinyonoy. Right? That's what he polarized it. Question, what's the halacha? Like Rav Nachman and Rav Ashi. Pasha looks like Rav Ashi, is Basro. וכן נראה מעיד את תנא בריקה לקידושין, בכסף וגנוז וכסף נקנה, ואין קנים בתמור וכלם הניו חליפין. עם החליפין לה מתורס כסף. ושמעתי לקידוש אמרינו בו מיליון ברי שביעות החליפין, צער אמרינו, זה איפה ואין אוכי נמי. חליפין זה בו פרוטו, לא למכאן נפשו צורך עיונה. I read it quick because he quotes our Gemara. So he says, our Gemara is צורך עיונה. So he concludes, I'm in the last paragraph. Last paragraph. The essence of this thing. This is the way it looks to me. She'ein ha-chalipin midin kesef. Chalipin doesn't have the law of kesef. V'lefikach, and therefore, it's not possible for you to say she'yukalach hazman will be like after some time.
What do you mean shach hazman? There's no concept, you know?
Again, the Kohen shel Dvorim. This comes to conclusion of Rashba. Kach nir, this is the way it looks to me. She'ein ha-chalipin kesef. Chalipin is not kesef. Like our choices. Why? What's the maskona? Chalipin is kinyanach, is not mitam kesef. V'lefikach yefshar lo yimar lecho. It's not possible for you to say. Shuro kach hazman. Once you say chalipin is not mitam kesef, it's like Meshicha. If I want it to be in the future, it wouldn't work. Kach hazman won't work. Kadima was not so fatty like Toysfus. Oh, now here people make a mistake. How to read it? I want to read it properly. B'ezrat Hashem. The back and forth, and with this we're going to answer the question we had on Tosfot. Umay de Kosav Mara. He says, well, this master that wrote the letter to Rabbeinu Ta, to the Rashba, he said, you wrote, Da'afil leRavashi mishekoine besudo shem b'shor reputo. Even Ravashi, that says Siddur has to be right now. If somebody acquired with a Suda which has no value at Pruto, and I'm saying, I'm giving over the Suda totally to you. You don't have to give me it back. It works even after some time. The Suda doesn't exist in the world. Like money. This is for you, Rabbi Yoshua. This master holds that Chalipin is mitam kesef, and even the Chalipin is less of a pruto, but since it's choshuv, the teres machshiv with kesef, and if I give it over to you totally, Ravashi had a problem, of course, he says, when I give over the Chalipin totally to be by you, not to give me a back, even on his akra amois, even though the money is gone afterwards, and into the future. Why? Because from the side of the koine gave the makne the sudo totally for him, kiyum gomo. So even if it's less from a pruto doesn't matter. It's like money. I gave it to you totally by you. The whole problem Ravashi had kosa kinyonoi, because first it says who says you're not allowed to hold on, but if you don't hold on, it has to be right now. But what happened if he didn't hold on his own? The koine says you could hold on. He made a t'nai, mefurosh. You could hold on to it. Nobody will agree, nobody will argue, even Ravashi will admit that would work lachazman. The whole problem of Ravashi was that Sudor maybe he's allowed to hold on to it. So it works. Number two, if you don't hold on to it, so it's called Sakiyoma. It has to be right now. But if I gave it totally to the coin they gave to the Makna, the Surah totally yours, Kinyan Gom, leave it by you. Even Rav Ashi will agree that Chalipin will work lachar zman, mitzad like kesef, even Saglamos. That's what this master said. This is not true. Ein oniya kein be'enai. It doesn't look so in my eyes.
Even if he makes it 9.
Yes. Mishum de Rav Ashi. According to Rav Ashi, meichel kinsur lachar zman. Ein okom shu Chalipin. If you want to mark it in the Suda later on, will not work mishum Chalipin. What about kesef? Umishum teras kesef. If it's teras kesef and kesef shor pruto, but what will be shor pruto? Would work. ותן לך למקל משטר שאני שלו, אף על פי שלא אמר לו מעכשיו אם נזכר השטר אינו מקודשת, אבל בששו ועשו בו פרוטה דין דין אמס. What does the Rashba say here? The Rashba says that he's fighting this master. This master said, master. This master said that even Rav Ashi will agree that if the koine gives the surah to the makne kinyan gomu, that will be totally by him, even less of a puto, koine mitzat kesef, even the sakra amois, even lachar zman. Comes the Rashba says, no, less of a puto, even I give over the chalipin totally yours. I gave you totally yours, not kesef, because less of a puto is not kesef. But the din will be din emes, that when I give the surah totally to be yours, as a tnai, totally yours, condition. I said, I want a magna kinyan gomu. And as a vaya puto, vada, even though I said the word chalipin, would coin him mitzad kesef. Because as a shabbat puto, din emes would work. And he brings the raya. Kenemuchach, he brings the raya from the Gemara Daf Memchet. Kenemuchach b'shtash as a shabbat puto. Ukenemuchach da'id Hashem Saniya, yesh b'shabbat mukoleshes, b'rei mechad Daf Memchet. U'mistav l'gameh. It has a shabbat puto. Again, what does the Rashba say? The Rashba, that was the mistake. The Rashba says, if I give a star that has a Shabbat Pruta, and the star doesn't have any Chasima, Rabbi Meir agrees to Chachomim that if it's Shabbat Pruta in it, it works. So we asked, and our Sugya, even Chalipin is not Mitam Kesef, but since the Chalipin is Shabbat Pruta, let it work Mitzat Kesef. No! It's not a Dinyoy. Why? Because the Rashba's case is, when the Rashba said if Chalipin Shabbat Pruta works, only we made a condition to stay by you, a clear, active condition, should be by you. So unless Shabbat Pruta, he says not Kesef, Shabbat Pruta din emes. Then it's doing it to star. But Chalipin that Shabbat Pruta that didn't make a condition, is not doing it to star. Why? Because when I said the word Chalipin naturally means give it back, and I'm not makne begufay, I'm makne bedinoi. Which means I'm saying I don't want A, B, I want A. Who says so? The Rashba himself. Look in the Rashba 2 pages before in Slabot Keshitz. The Rashba in Daf Gimel in Slabot Keshitz. I don't know which page you have. By Nis Gimel, by you is, I don't know where page. There's a long Rashba here. Right before the last paragraph, you count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 lines. 12 lines at the end of the paragraph, the one before the last.
Which one is that? Lametes?
No, Daf Gimel. On the Rashba on our Sugya. That says in above, Kiddushin Daf Gimel Amud Aleph Chidush HaRashba. So it has 2, 3, the third paragraph, and there's 4 paragraphs. The third one is one before the last. If you count from the end of it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 lines from the bottom. אבל כי יויב לא שווה פרוטו, מקני נפשו. והנה מעיקר חליפין נסתיו כלל פרשו פרוטו, אבה אמרין, אבילון אמרינה. כיוון דקניה חשוב מקני בו נפשו. אבל, that's what we start, אבל. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 lines from the end of the paragraph. אבל. אבל אשתו דקיימלון. Says, but now that the halacha is the Chalipin koni amanas la'aknois. So this for you, Rabbi Gavriel. What is Chalipin? Kni amanas la'aknois. Velav didei niu. Chalipin means it's not yours. Afilu ki yoim lo chalipin shove pruto, shove money. Even I give you chalipin that's worth 100 zuz. As gold, silver, diamond, who knows what? Special silk from China. In the time of Acapulco, whatever his name is. My office still won't help. Marco Polo. I said Acapulco, Mexico. My office, what do I get? So at least came out a joke. My office, what it should be? Nothing. When I give Chalipin, and I said the word Chalipin means, I'm not makner with the body. Elo bedinen with the law. Vedine and afil Moshe Pruto aise. And it didn't work even less Moshe Pruto. V'kevan shedin Chalipin is Moshe Pruto. Lo ychashiva lo v'gnayu lo l'hagar v'gnayu Pruto kazoi shiko Moshe Pruto. What does he say? I'll explain in English. He says like this.
No plug.
No, not my plug, not my plug. He said when I said the word Chalipin, what I mean, Chalipin means that I'm not giving you the object. When I say kesef, I'm giving you value. It's yours. When I say Chalipin, it means acquiring it. Here's my kippah of Chalipin. It means hold it and give it, pick it up and give it back. That's what it means. So the word Chalipin means I'm not makna in the guf, I'm makna in the din. So when I say the word Chalipin, I say no kesef. Because there's an opposition in the king. And the king of Chalipin is the din, and the clean of kesef is the guf.
But Chalipin it can be with the sular or it can be changing.
But by shtar, one second, right. But by shtar, right. But by shtar, I'm giving her a piece of paper. So what I'm marrying her with the words. The words don't work because there's no chayde chasima. So works meets out the value of the paper.
Maybe it's not the words, maybe it's the din.
The words on the paper. So if the words on the paper don't work, the value of the paper works. That works. Why? Because the words of the paper, I didn't say I want the words on the paper and not the paper. But when I say Chalipin, I'm saying clear understand. Chalipin means giving me back. Chalipin means bedino v'loy begufa. So it's different. By shtar works. Or what will happen if I give Chalipin shavaput and I say I'm making it nine? I want it to be by you lo'olam, clear lo'olam. There the Raspo says adin din emes that the shavaput, even though the Chalipin doesn't work, mitzat shavaput works like by shtar because there's no opposition. But when I say Chalipin, I didn't make condition lo'olam. The word Chalipin is opposite, means give me a bag. I say Chalipin, give me a bag. That's another word, another milah nirdef. The Chalipin means give me a bag. Which means you can't bedin lo beguno. That's how it doesn't work. There's no kasha. Oh yes, the kasha on Rabbeinu Tam. When I give a Chalipin shavapruta, let it work. Mitzat kesef sheboy. The Rashba, and then we have a Gemara. The Rashba brought a Gemara of shtar. And he holds by Chalipin Shavapruta works. No. Word works in the similar to Shtar when he says Kinyan Gomu. But when I say Chalipin, even though it's even Shavimane, 100 Jews, when I say the word Chalipin means give me a bag, means I want to mark it on mitzad the din, not mitzad the guf. So how can you say because the guf is word put work? I said I don't want that. I want A, not B. So it don't work. Doesn't work. When I didn't say an opposition, so even though it's two kinyanim, I said A, not B. If I didn't say B, I say hey, and I didn't say B. A don't work, B works. But when I say A and not B, because Chalipin means bedino v'lo beguf, and din means not the guf, because the guf I want back. He says Chalipin means give me a bag. So I'm saying bag, not the guf. So how can you want to change what works without the guf? It does as an opposition. That doesn't work. When did the Rashba say it works? Because of din emes is when you made kino lo'aya. I should read by you forever. That's what works. So we made the Rabbeinu Tam by us, according to Toises, no cash. We don't have the cash of the Toises. Why? Because when I say Chalipin, I say give me a bag. See, even though Shavapruta cannot work because it's the Shavapruta didn't cash. Because I say give me back the Chalipin. I don't want you to stay by you. So you can't say it works within Kesef unless I made a condition. Stay by you. Okay, so that works. If it works. Yes.
She has to give it back, or
What?
are you saying she has to give it back? Or
Yes.
that he expects
Yes.
According to what I hear.
Came on the Kniyach, he says like this in language. I'm reading in the Rashba. אבל אז שאתה קיים על חליפין קנייה לסלאק לא ייסו ולעבדי בינינו אפילו כי יום לוקחים משהו בפרוטו מה יהווה? או מקום לא בגופני ניכנס אלא בדינו. Why? Because he said give me a bag. Look, you have to give me a bag. So that's what it means. Give me a bag.
Tosos on Gimel says that we
Kaimalan Lotari, Lotari.
Where Davov you mean?
On Davav.
Yeah, he says
You
what?
don't have to give it back, but the derek has to give it back.
Okay. So first of all, that's not necessarily Rabbeinu Tam. And even doesn't matter. But as long as the derech, so that's part of the das.
My question
When I
is,
say Chalipin, it means the derech give me it back. It means I don't want it back. Hey, what are you taking it?
how you yotze with an esrog?
It's as if you have an opposition statement.
How you yotze?
It's not doing it to stop. What do you want to say?
I give the esrog, but if I say dinayim,
Yes.
I have a problem.
Yes.
If I have, when you have pseudo, I give it back. So I have nothing, I don't do nothing with this. I put some getting it and give it turning it, nothing
Right.
else. Sheikh, when I take a esrog, I give it, I do it like that. I want to use a mitzvah, I want to use it. Means I need a gufoy, because it's lochem, have to use a gufoy. She see a gufoy, when I have, I'm not talking about azir, the gufoy, and I still is called Chalipin, and it still works. It's a kash.
Again, repeat. If somebody gives Matomas Taxi by Esok, it works. You're asking, Matomas Taxi by Esok works.
Yes,
No.
and there's the gufoy, not the dinayim.
Yes. So I said this, Rabbi Gavriel asked the same question. And I answered them, you have to see the Ktsois, they already asked this question. They give a solution how Matomas Taxi is really, it is Kinyan Loilam.
Even the gufoy.
Yes, yes. How it works, you have to learn the Sugi. That's part of what we're going to learn. Okay. Musushus. But when I want, yes, Chaim, what?
Maybe start the same thing. Maybe start doesn't mean the paper and the ink. It means the din of start, not the paper. How do you know that's true?
Yeah, but he didn't say definitely not. By Chalipin is saying not goof, because give me it back. By shtar, I'm not giving you the shtar to give me back the shtar. When I'm a mekadosh with it, the shtar stays by the person for raya, for this, that. So I'm not saying not. He's saying not, unless I made a condition. It's very simple. That's the way we answer Pshat and Rabbi Mutan in our places. Yes.
When a person married a woman with a ring,
Yes.
and he didn't say, you have to acquire this ring. He says, the tabat zu. He doesn't explain, she can do Chalipin with the tabat, probably, or she can acquire. That's Moshe Israel. So like the rabbi says, so why here in Chalipin, because we don't say that because potentially it can be money and it can be also Chalipin. Okay, he says Chalipin, but he wants Kedas Moshe Israel. It's not Tarte de Satre.
It is. Because Chalipin, according to Rashi, means give me it back. When I said the word Chalipin means give me it back. That's what it means. Okay.
La